I think anyone in the group can start a meeting. So, like, if I'm not here, if, as long as you're in a group, you could probably just start the meeting.
Oh, hell yeah. Is it the GAGAC tab that you were referencing from?
Mm-hmm. The
Okay.
Georgia code, GA code. Yeah, they're the revised. I, oh, R and R. I don't know what R and R is. Let's open it up. See what it is. Oh, the rules and regulations. Okay. Duh. But you can get depositions, and I don't want to go through a deposition because I don't think I'm ready for that. But you can shall have the discretion to authorize or require submission of written direct testimony in written form. Application to take testimony by written questions shall be made and considered in the same number as prescribed for depositions in subsection 2, which is this one up there. In order, if the court orders the taking of testimony on written questions, each question shall be answered separately and fully in and under oath. Oh
No shit.
man, this is right. A written direct testimony. This is a notice to produce. Notice to produce. Wait, depositions. Rule. Okay, so whatever. I'll say per rule 616-1-2.20, depositions and written direct testimony. I require the prosecution to answer to my goddamn bill of particulars. I'll just draft up a whole new list of questions to ask them.
Yeah.
So you're in Wichita. Uh-oh.
Their shit's a little fucked over here.
But they gotta have interrogatories.
Got you. Kansas
Oh,
interrogatory.
Kansas.
Yeah, sorry. Wichita's the city I'm next to.
Right. Kansas. What is a 616? Administrative rules of procedure. There we go.
60 233 interrogatories to parties in general. Availability, the timing of it.
What was the name? What was that? Yo.
Uh, 60
No.
233.
Oh, yeah, we can hear.
Ah.
Can you hear him? I can hear you.
Hi.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot.
That's Anthony Brunel.
Hi, Bruno. Nice to meet you.
Same here, man. Same here.
It was
Give me that code one more time, brother.
60 233. And it states here within the second point of it, or just the point B of it, subsection, responding party, the interrogatories must be answered
Right.
by the party to whom they are directed, or if that party is a public or private corporation, partnership or association, or a governmental agency or other entity, by an officer or agent who must furnish the information available to the party.
So we found the code for Georgia, and then we found it for Kansas. We need to be able to use that. So what we're looking at now is that how you keep filing these letters and these motions or whatever with the court, and they just don't respond to it, like your affidavits and all of that. But per their code, they have to. Here, they in Kansas they call it interrogatories, like they should be called. But in Georgia, they're called, where is it? Written direct testimonies.
Mm.
Mm.
Bruno, what state are you in?
I'm in Houston. I just moved from Indiana. That's where all my cases are.
So you got to go back,
No, I do everything by mail or
right?
Zoom.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah, I only go in to like get experience or just. But I don't have to go in. It's just
Right.
good to get that practice.
And it's good to get in, yeah, get in
Yeah.
there and like, because when you get in there, you can do it, right? Then you can it's part of your exposure, because now the public can see it.
Right.
So you said you had a case going now, right?
Yeah, I got one. Now the thing with that one, what did I do? I can't remember the terms I used, but she ended up putting me in an omnibus, which is really they want to see what so they can get you know try to get their I would say sword ready because I always come with different tactics, and I had a judge I want to say like 3 times already, so she pretty much knows me.
Okay.
So, but I like to just use stick to federal codes. That way, they can't rebut it, or they have no, they won't give you the runaround as much, but they will still try it. So that's why I always tell people don't sign anything because they'll hide like little traps in their notes and then have you sign it, and then next thing you know, you're on probation. You got all this other stuff going on, but like I said, you have the right to contract it, and people got to remember that. Like you don't let them force you into it because they'll be like, well, we can hold you in contempt if you don't sign this. I'm like, well, do what you got to do. I know that's against the law, and you just hit them with some facts and go about their day. But
Back
I'm looking
with the
for
back with the codes too, right?
right.
So what about the whole thing where they say you can't really mix the federal bucket with the state bucket?
They always try that, but you got to remember, federal supersedes these little courts,
The
and
supremacy clause, right?
yeah, and that's what they expect you not to know that.
Right.
But because I come so dressed down, you think I might come with work clothes one day. I might come in with shorts and a t-shirt just so to keep them off their edge. Like I never dress up because they go figure something. Like
Ah,
you want to keep it ball in your court at all times.
just by the way you dress.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird because some days I go in there with my crystals on, fresh white t-shirt. Next day I
Hmm.
might have paint on my shirt and pajamas on.
How many cases you done had?
I'm on number 7 now.
Jesus.
That's just with Indiana. I had a couple of them in Chicago. I got a video on my TikTok of Chicago. They don't even arrest me no more.
Isn't that
And
insane?
yeah, like they stop me for about 10 minutes. I tell them my spiel, like, hey, this is against the law. If you want to kidnap me, do what you got to do, officer. Because I'm standing on my rights at all times. And anytime they say something, you have to rebut it because silence is really agreement, and
Right.
people don't
Yeah.
understand that. They always say, "Oh, you got the right to remain silent." Like, yeah, I have the right to remain silent, but I'm not, officer. You're doing something illegal. So, and you want
Right.
to
So
use
that's probably
their
why they tell you to be silent, right?
exactly.
To keep
They
you from
think
rebutting.
exactly. But yeah, I got put up by the sergeant and 2 cops. They swarmed me, and The guy that was with me was my cousin's uncle, and he had he just got out of jail. He had a long rap sheet. He was nervous. I'm like, hey, it's cool, man. Just put your hands up. So we had our hands up the whole time, and I'm like, no, this is nothing but tools back here. You see, we in work clothes. By the way, I charge $1,000 per hour for my time officer. So you want to get them in lieu contracts, like they'll try to get you in contracts.
Correct.
So
So
it's
you
really, and people don't understand court starts the moment they give you a ticket. So
mm,
yeah, that's I always start. I noticed you had your emergency lights on. How can I help you? And then I hit him with, well, I don't want a contract. I don't want you to be with you. So I charge $1,000 per hour for my time. So you want to do what you want to do with that? And the sergeant let me go, and that's how it plays out. But I've been in my shortest court case with them was in Markham, Illinois. It was like 2 minutes. The judge didn't even want to talk to me. She was like, redact it. And they redact their statement. And it's you really can't sue after that. But, I'm not here for the money. I'm here for you to stop bothering me. That's all I was saying. Like, I don't want to be
right.
bothered.
Wait, you
Exactly.
said what happens if they redact it?
That it's going to be harder to sue because they pretty much, this is the way like, oh, our bad. We didn't mean to, or it was an accident. So,
Oh, they rescind their offer
yeah,
to
exactly.
contract.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
I see. But say like if I go into court and I request the record, they can't redact the record.
Exactly.
But
So
if
that's why
it's
they try to settle outside of court by, they'll try to dismiss it or they give you the runaround like, oh, you have another court date, but you have to, if they try to, you have to tell them like, hey, I got a right to speedy trial, and
right,
since you're asking another court date, I also charge $1,000 per hour because
right,
you got to travel to the courtroom. I'm spending 2 hours for you to wait and call me because I'll get there early and they'll still call me last.
right,
They'll
right.
call me, so it's just like, but
That happened to me on Friday.
that lets you know that you know something.
Right.
People always, but if you put your fee schedule in, I'm gonna sit there and chill. I ain't got nothing but time.
So did submit my fee schedule. It is on my court case.
Okay,
Where is it?
but you can also do it verbally. You can, like anybody that talk to you, you
I
just tell them,
have.
like, "Hey, I charge this much." So
Ah. So
hey,
I have done it via filing it, and then I also got a video of the prosecution seeing it, so I know that she at least seen it.
okay,
Smart TV.
I think the reason why City of Wichita has not bothered me since sending them that letter, all those exhibits, and my intent of fee schedule is because
Of the fee
they
schedule.
can't rebut it, and
exactly.
then they would have to be forced to pay for it.
Right, because in my fee schedule, I charge $1,000. No, excuse me, it was $75,000 for an hour,
Oh, okay,
or
yeah, keep it up.
something like that. But
Yeah,
it was enough money, so I don't got to work the rest of the year.
right. Exactly.
But I'm just like, can I
And
get them? Go ahead.
that goes for each officer that's on the scene. So
Mm,
don't think just because it's 7,500 just for the whole time. It's 7,500 for each officer.
you mean caught
Yeah.
officers in
So
court?
officer whoever. So let's say you get pulled over and you already have your fee schedule on file. They're gonna call it back up. So that's another 75. So that's two additional running at the same time. Then
When you say on file, you mean just file with?
you, yeah, if you file at the court or I like to send them to the police department ahead of time. So I just moved to Houston. I'm already typing on my paperwork. Any any like jurisdiction I go in, I'm like, hey, I'm traveling through here. You know, this is how much I charge. I don't wish to contract with you, but I would still
Ah,
get pulled over because I'm not going to have plates until
right.
because I'm trying to design my own. So, and that's really just the way to get a ticket and just because I don't mind going to court. I don't mind tickets.
I don't mind charging you for my time
Exactly. And
either.
I let them know like, hey, this is kidnapping, and if they take my car, this is highway robbery.
Highway robbery.
Yes, and then you hit them with the RICO charge for each officer that's being called on scene.
I'm trying to find. It was labeled as a notice of intent. They might have changed it.
Yeah,
Yup.
notice it's 10. I send a few out, but they can get around that. I don't know how yet, but
But
I have.
it was my fee schedule though,
Okay. Did you
and I
send it
got
certified?
uh certified. Mm, yes,
Okay.
yes, because it was a letter, and I sent it because I did hand deliver a couple of documents too,
Okay, that's still great too, cause
and everything I hand delivered, I caught on my secret spy glasses and shit.
okay. Now that you want to keep record, that's a good thing.
Right, I'm trying to keep record of everything, so that's a good idea. Like, I'm just gonna send DCAT County, all the surrounding counties that I ever be in, right?
Yeah,
My fee schedule and saying I don't want to contract with you.
exactly.
And
So that
then
way, you know, go ahead.
and then like do they respond to that?
Um, the smart ones won't. Okay, so if they do respond to it, they're gonna. That's their way of trying to check you in a way. They're gonna be like, um, we don't. Pretty much, they gonna say in so many words, we don't care,
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay because as long as you understand, like once they say that, that means they already seen your agreement. They can't. They kidnap you, then they already agreed to it because you already sent it to them. Now, when I say the smart ones won't, that means they're going to try to ignore it. I'm like, oh, we didn't get that.
Right,
Okay, well, I'm sending it to you now. You
right,
know,
right, right. And then you have record, right, that it's been sold. You got to do the certificate
exactly.
of service. Send it. Do you send your stuff through a notary?
No, I usually when I was in Indiana, I had a notary, so we just sit down here, sign my papers, then I either like you said, I go hand deliver them or I just send them certified, and that way, or go to currency exchange. It's a few places we can go, but
But in the notary acts as your witness that this was sent.
yeah, exactly. So you want to get somebody. You usually want to get somebody that's like a company because a lot of people that's notary just picked up as like a stream of income. They would be scared because I'm like, oh, you going to the police with this, or or they have to understand it. If they don't understand it, it kind of doesn't serve its purpose.
I see. Yeah,
So
because they're literally acting as your witness too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, but a lot of people are fearful of the police because they don't understand on their rights. That's why we run into a lot of people that, oh, it's sovereign citizen. This is crazy. That's not real. And it's like,
And if
we're
you look
naturally sovereign.
right,
And I'm a citizen because I was born here. So those things are contradiction, but you have to understand when are you a citizen, when are you not,
hmm
so, until you further understand it. So I'm looking for some codes. I got so many notes because I'm getting into consumer law.
right,
It's,
right.
dude.
Definitely, because I'm going straight down to the
Um,
dealership.
yeah,
the
hey,
city
that's
of
what I'm
New
working
York
on.
case,
I already got three, and then it's another guy on. He's on Instagram. He's like he has like a hood consumer class, but he we were just sitting there reading. He goes everything from the all the way from Bill of Rights to the what's that? The Bill of Exchange Act,
hmm
and that was a good one. Like he really broke that down. And then he went to the Banking Act, which states that banks are pay all interest. So when you combine that with all the other consumer laws, you realize the bank are paying the interest, and once you apply for something, you can't get denied. They will deny you, but then that's when you have to act on it, and you have to contact the CFO. People always send to the
Legal
little,
department. Yeah.
yeah, but if you send it to CFO, they get the message.
that's the rub though. They keep that
Yeah,
the indentured trustee from you.
yeah, but that's what we he went over. It's called oh man, I wrote it down somewhere. Durable power of attorney. You want to get that over your government name.
A durable.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that power of attorney, reason why it's so strong is because it's really it can really cancel out anybody else that already has it.
So
Ah. Okay. What's that?
There you go, the second one right there. Even though it says it's free, it's not.
And where do you file this at, or who do you send it to?
Now you're gonna keep copies and you're gonna send that to every CFO you start to endorse. When you start endorsing your bills, you're gonna send the letter of intent, and then you're gonna send a copy of that. And then if they don't say nothing in 5 days, you're gonna say it. You send a notice to cure,
Hmm.
which is the same thing as the letter of intent, but you just read and then you send another copy, and then you start um, getting ready to take them to court. But most people will respond after the second notice because after the second notice, it goes from $5,000 a day to $1 million a day.
Mm.
So they respond after the second, and he has so many uh, receipts of remedy, and he bring people up on his live all the time on how they got credit cards from Navy Federal and all types of crazy stuff. So I'm only like really a month into it because every time I try to get into it, somebody is like, "Hey, I got a ticket," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't live that no more." But I'm still, doing my thing.
Oh, so they're trying to get you to answer tickets about, I mean,
No,
questions
yeah, I
about.
got a lot of clients on tickets. That's really how I make this charge. I'll charge people like $50 to help them with a ticket, and they tell their friends what. In Chicago, people get so many tickets. You get parking tickets and speeding. So yeah,
That's dope, man.
yeah,
That's
I try not. I started pushing my feet so people was just like, "No, if you read, you don't need my help." I'm
right,
like, I got clients like, bro, we on. He got more tickets than I do. I'm like, bro, you need to start reading. There's no way
right,
you should still be calling me.
right. After like after you'd already got him off of one already.
Yeah, he's just
Okay, okay.
yeah, but I want to venture off to other things, but I still know like a lot of people still need this right to travel information. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm still in it, but I really like working with people that's going to actually do their own research. And when you reached out, I'm like, hey, this is perfect because
Right. Imagine if we get like 50 people in here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like a live. But we
yeah,
gotta do it. We gotta be organized with it though,
yeah, for sure.
cause that's what we're doing. Me and Anthony right now.
Hmm.
We're because we just had both of us had court cases recently, and the court just railroaded you through it, didn't answer no questions, and then of course they're gonna go straight to the trial, right?
Yeah.
So we both got jury trials coming up, but
Okay.
we're trying to figure out how to get this shit done without even having to go to trial. Now, if I go to trial, I just want to make sure I'm ready,
Right.
and I'm
Um. To I've seen. Well, I've done this too once. I've sent a motion to dismiss for subject matter jurisdiction,
Mhm.
and then I sent motion, no notice of discovery or like motion. I forgot what the name of it, but usually the motion to get them because it's just straight questions. It's 5 or 6 questions, and they usually push out the date again because like now she pushed out the date to next year. So I got the ticket in April 3rd. So it's just been going on, and then I come with a pre-trial, and I'm like, I don't wish you. How do you wish to plead? I'm like, I don't wish to plead. There is no injured party. And then I let her talk, and she's like, well, I'm going to enter a plea for you. I'm like, well, that's practicing law from the bench. And let the record show that you're practicing law from the bench, and that's illegal. And she's like, oh, well. that's not what the record's not going to show that. And she just hung up on me. I'm like, damn, I didn't even get to
The
record.
record is not going to show that.
That's what she said.
God
Yeah, but
damn. I can't wait because I'm going to the courthouse tomorrow to get a full transcript of my case.
yeah,
And it's like I didn't get the footage of me talking to the judge, and that's the real one I needed. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah. No, they're gonna. That's why another reason why they make the people that know this go last because it's gonna cost more and more the later the cases is into the day. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they wanna charge you for that, but I think it's a way to get it for free. I'm still working on doing some little research. I seen one or two videos on it, so I wrote down the codes. I'm just have to go dig in deep
To get what for free?
to get the transcripts
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because uh, it has you on camera, so you should have a right to that information.
Well, not only that, but that's case proceedings. I should just get that through straight discovery.
Right, especially if I'm quote unquote representing myself.
Right.
So
Right. That's why they want to put counsel on you
yeah, yeah.
or
Oh yeah,
someone.
and I fight at council all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm an adult. He has no right to speak for me. You're fired.
Exactly.
You're fired.
Exactly.
Get out of here,
All
dude.
of my friends are like, dude, get a lawyer. I'm like, not only can does he speak for you, bro, but he
Yeah,
will sign for you. And if
yeah,
that order to put you in jail, he will sign that order.
yeah.
But guess what? I'm not signing that order.
Heard that attorney really means turn you over. So it's
Right.
like,
Right. To a turn. Right.
yeah. So no, I never, especially never sign. I can stress it enough. I tell people don't sign nothing, and I get a call. Oh, bro, I had to sign in. No, you don't. Like, you don't have to sign in. You by being present and you stating like, hey, I didn't want to be here, but they said if I don't come, they're going to put an arrest warrant out for me. So that's under duress. You're forcing me to be here. So that's why I always tell people I put the fee schedule. I tell the cop as soon as he's pulling me over, that's the second thing I say. Because I want to get it on his camera, his body camera, and my camera.
So that's what I was gonna ask you. Do you have cameras everywhere?
Yeah, I got an order for my new vehicle because I ended up selling my old car. I want like fresh start when I moved out here. So,
I got a
but
I
yeah,
got a body camera in my car. So if I get pulled over, I'm just putting on the body cam and cutting it off.
yeah,
You got one on. I can't have one on.
yeah, for sure.
You
You
see what I'm
have to,
saying?
you have to, because they're gonna try everything,
Hmm.
and even signing tickets. Even if they force you, it's a few. Man, speaking of organizing, I'm like, I gotta organize my notes. I got like this little notebook just full of like,
Right, right.
it's full of stuff. Uh,
That's why I'm like
So
I'm coming up with this kangaroo court cookbook, man.
oh
And
yeah, when you said that, I was like, man, that's one of the second phrases I learned, and it was just like so funny. I'm like, I have to try this, and since then, I never got that judge again. His name was like Nicholas something. I'm like, I kept telling him, hey, I got to write for this, I got to write to that, I got to write this. He's like, well, you don't really, and that's frowned upon. I'm like, well, this seems like a kangaroo court, if you ask me.
what? What?
He looked at me like,
Did you hear that, Anthony?
yeah.
The
yeah,
the
he
judge
was
said that's
baffled.
frowned
Frowned
upon.
upon. Yes,
What?
he said that. He said it. I'm like, and he
So when I
dismissed the
crossed the
case.
bar on Friday, I walked in and I held my hands up and said, "Look, I reserve my rights, okay?" And
Yeah.
none of them said anything. I was like, "I reserve my rights, okay?" And the judge said, "Okay, Mr. Anglin."
Oh no, no, you guys do it 3 times. Strangely, the power of 3 is the magic number.
But
So
she
like,
did agree. She agreed though. She
oh,
said,
she
"Okay."
agreed.
Yeah, yeah. She
Well,
said,
no, I
"Okay."
still like the. I wanted them to say I'm proceed because they agree, but you have to remember to stop those swinging doors. And I like to stand at them, and I'm gonna look right in the eye and tell them like I reserve all my rights prior to entering. And I'd say it 3 times, even if because then they change up their tone at the third one. They're like, now you may proceed. So that's when you walk in and you hit your spiel. You tell them like what you here for, and always stress that you don't want to be here because people always don't understand. Like I was helping this one dude out a couple was it last week? He's like, "Oh well, they said I couldn't get a court case if I don't sign." I'm like, "Dude, that's what you want. You
Mm-hmm.
want them to take away." He's like, "I don't get it." I'm like, "Well, you got to do some more reading because they will like." I like another thing. They went into recess and didn't come back. I never had that happen to me before, and that's when after that day I stopped doing a lot of other stuff. I just went straight from like, hey, I'm reading all this. I'm gaining this knowledge because I love going to court now. Like I be so ready. Like like I sit in the back and this another hour went by. That's $1,000. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but
So have you actually billed them and they paid you?
yeah, like they make you sign something or they'll they give it back to you in your bond. Like um, my bond was only $500, but then I had another charge that was $995, and I'm like, what? What is this? But I noticed, I'm like, oh, they sent it back with the bond, so it doesn't look like I was paid out, but I was. That's why I sent you the screenshots. I got two bonds back. I'm like, why would you send two separate bonds? That doesn't make any sense. And then
Mm.
I have tickets where the court fee is only $1. Like what?
But
Because
everything went back into yeah.
yeah, because I didn't learn that after the case is dismissed, I can still go back and get extra funds. But after so many days, it becomes abandoned, and then they can
Right.
take it. But yeah, I didn't know that because I was just getting dismissed, and I was like, "This is easy." But I didn't realize, hey, I need to start getting paid for this because I'm spending too much time.
Well, that's good because I mean, I know they got my fee schedule,
Yeah,
but did I have to put them on notice prior, like with be prior to it? Even
you
though
know,
my fee schedule is on there, they can all say, "Well, we didn't see it."
yeah. So I would always, I just like to put people on notice just for that reason because they will lie. You know, that's the cops can legally lie to you. So it's best just to inform everybody, and then the more people you inform, the more people you can charge.
Right.
So
Hold on, because I think I put my fee schedule, verbiage about my fee schedule in my notice to get the hearing that I just went to.
right,
Let me see.
and that's another reason. Like I lost out on a couple of them because I didn't update my address, and they had sent it to my address, or they had knowingly sent it to the wrong address.
What the payment?
Yes,
So
I
you
have.
can't cash it when and it's still
Nope,
abandoned property.
nope. Yeah, it's pretty much been a problem because it goes back to them. Because
These
I was looking
motherfuckers.
like on my tickets, and I'm just like return, return. I'm like I go back and I called him like, hey, it was returned. Why was this? He was like, oh well, the address was updated. I'm like, what address is it? And then go back and put like two addresses before. I'm like, that update that's been changed because you just sent me a notice and I have to come to court. So how is
They gonna
that
send
the
it to your last
yeah?
known
So I'm like, why
address.
would you
Right.
send that to?
Right.
Then oh, it's nothing we can do, and then hang up. But then again, it's like the money does help, but I'm not here for it. I just want I want the receipt to them dismissing.
Right.
Just for like times like this when I can share it with people like, hey, you can do this. It doesn't
Right.
take an attorney, doesn't take a lawyer. It just takes a little bit of time, like a little bit of like
Well,
how much do you want to be free?
it also takes this what we doing right now.
Yeah,
This
yes.
shit is empowerment, man.
Yeah. Cause dude, my wife, she was heated. Like when I first started getting into it, she was like, you're gonna get in jail, they're gonna put you away. I'm like, they're gonna try.
They're
But
gonna try. That's right.
I took her to one question. She was like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "I've just been reading, just been reading, baby."
Look, see here. I say 12/21/23. I filed a notice of intent, fee schedule, and affidavit of status. The purpose of the affidavit is to correct all presumptions. So let's see if I have another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look, I attached a copy of my notice of intent fee schedule.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they have no. If they say they didn't see it, I mean they didn't do their job. So now you have another charge of not doing your job.
request I sent in order to get that hearing. And then
Okay.
they didn't even answer. Like I was telling Anthony, they uh they asked me when I stood up. They said, "Okay, Mr. Anglin." I said, "I'm here because of the bill in particulars. I'm wondering if the prosecution's seen it and answered to it, right?"
Okay.
And then when I sat down with her and we talked about it, all of a sudden now she can't find it.
That's what a
And that's
coincidence.
what I got
Yeah.
on film. I got that part on film.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a
That's
good one right there.
that's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm gonna get this fee schedule money first though. Yo, Anthony,
Hey.
did you file? You filed your fee schedule, right?
So with the city of Wichita case, they have my intent fee schedule for there, and I also sent it to the Kansas Attorney General.
Mm,
So they have it as well, and since it's notice uh, to principal or principal to agents, agents as principal, then they all have it under him.
okay.
So
Yeah.
Right.
technically, it's just not filed with this county I'm dealing with now.
I got you. I got you. Well, I would. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know.
And I don't, I, I'm not sure if that's the reason why City of Wichita just has not bothered me anymore.
That's probably it though.
Yeah, that's that's a doozy right there.
That's a
that's
doozy.
that's a yeah. It's like that's overkill, but that's what you need. Like you need to go overkill because
Damn.
them showing them like you're not here to fuck around
Right.
at all. So that's,
Do you have a sample invoice?
no, not on this computer. I'll use this. Throw everything up here.
Right.
That's that's why I fail because like I back myself into corners in court, but I always use like the conflict of interest to get out or just challenging jurisdiction because you can challenge jurisdiction at any time.
Right.
So those are my two fail safes. But
And
dude, I just really go in there and just try new stuff all the time. Just
because you know that you've done nothing wrong. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly. So I'm
Right.
like
Shit.
I tried the special appearance thing before. It works, but I just have to fine tune it. Um, this guy named Mark Stevens, he has a great method. Well, I took some of his and tweaked it to my own because just because like the places I be sometimes I have my fur out, sometimes I got my loud music, so they always automatically this guy don't know nothing. I'm like,
Right.
okay, what's
Right.
up? What's up, officer? How you doing today? Like I talk to the officer like, hey, like, I mean, what do you want from me? Like, where are you? You're driving. I'm like, oh, I don't drive. This is not a commercial vehicle. So just
you you do the
you know,
DOT number and all that too?
nah, I try to stay away from like overcomplicating things because at the end of the day, like I'm just a natural person. So you know, any any violations of my natural inalienable rights,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's $50,000. But like my problem is I overspeak and then they start pulling back and it's like this guy and I'm like fuck I missed out on my 50,000. Yeah, I got do I
So
bro I
you
shoot
have
you
to
not.
notice them more than one. Put them on notice more than once.
I try not to because I'm trying to get some money. To be honest, but I really no, I really
You know.
slipped up a few times. Like dude, I was arrested. They I parked like I seen them coming. I parked in the McDonald's. They took me all the way to the station, and once he really started talking to me, he brought me back to my car. And I was just like, I was so shocked. Like I never had this happen. But I'm like, I also like, I'm supposed to, I'm supposed to charge him now, like, because they're,
No, he still arrested you though.
yeah, yeah. But I wasn't thinking. I was more in shock. Like I'm going back to my car. Like you're returning
I'll just
me.
I'll just charge you half the price, but I'm gonna get money off
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm
You
like,
paid his bond, right?
yeah. But yeah, that's another. You always have to go his name and badge number and file a complaint with their insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes I do slip up on a. I'm always following out the statute of limitation because I just be really into so much stuff going on. Like I'm trying to. Me and my buddy, he's actually in Arizona. He we were trying to design a fuel cell for hydrogen. And,
Mm-hmm.
you can run cars on hydrogen for
Yep.
250. So I'm doing that. I'm dealing with this. I got
We'll
a
cut that
new
out the video,
baby.
man. I don't want us to get
Oh yeah,
like a direct energy weapon get us or something.
yeah. No,
Hope you're
no,
with
dude,
us.
that's why I have to keep it low because even like cops are getting smart too. They're gonna start like I read they started using EMP devices. So I'm like, oh well, yeah. So it's in
So they
certain
kill your
states.
car?
Yes,
Wow.
right. So I'm like, well, they didn't stop making guns when they made yours. So I've been working on my own.
Right.
Like, I've been ordering copper wires and stuff. So I'm like, what do you want to do? But
Yeah, yeah.
just um, I'm at the point like,
It's funny. Let me go get this book right quick.
okay,
So with the insurance companies for their bonds, do you just have to do a FOIA request for the actual company itself? Because I've done a request over the oaths and the bonds of officers in
no,
Wichita, and they ignore it
yeah,
entirely.
that's why I always tell like I can't stress it enough. Like always go federal. Like you want to make 4 copies, one for yourself. Um, like deliver ones to the police officer that did it or the chief. I mainly the chief. He needs to get because he needs to understand what his subordinates are doing. And then you want to go with the chief's boss, which is like the DA or whoever, and then the judge. So if I'm forming all these people and my rights are still getting, then I'm going to take it to the FBI. Yeah, I had one call with the FBI, and they'll give you not the runaround, but they want to make you jump through so many hoops and to get your civil rights. And so it's like it's mainly just staying on it. Once you drop the ball, they're going to drop the ball. So
Mm-hmm.
I have people that I've taught this method to, and they went farther and got what the results they wanted. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm a lazy guy. Dude. Once I get the ticket dismissed and I've helped a few people, I'm gonna just go chill with my baby for a little. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really
Yeah.
try to stay out the light because I know the type of person I am. Like, if I get too involved, it's gonna lead to fucking just on back and forth. Like, I had cops sit outside my house. I moved and they still sat outside my house. So I was like, this is where they park. So my wife, she was like, oh, well, we got to do something. I'm like, well, you want to move out of state? She's like, yeah, let's go. So when we left
Really? They
Indiana,
did that to intimidate you?
oh yeah, bro. Cause I started in Chicago and then I moved to Indiana because I still work. I was doing home remodeling. So I was getting a lot of work in Chicago and it was cool. But then I moved to Gary, Indiana. That worked out well. But then I was right on the border where Griffith, Indiana is. And Griffith, Indiana is sundown town.
Mm.
It's yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I learned, but at the time I had a '94 Beretta, but so it was no catching me. But I'm like, no, I got a kid now. I can't constantly keep running, and I got to constantly. So I'm like, I'm playing smart. I learned some laws, and the laws it kind of backfired because dude, they're following me for hours. I got followed to the mall, back home before. I got followed all the way to state line. So it was really just like,
You ain't hop out the car like, man, what you want? What you need?
man, like I was brought up on a Black Panther party, bro. So I ain't want to get a shootout and lead to like So I was just like, figured let me play it smart. And my wife, she's from suburbs. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago, so I'm like, hey, I die for my rights. I
Right.
don't know what you want to do, officer, but I would tell them all the time. When they took one of my Jeeps, I rode to the police station on the bike and I filed a police report on the police. just so I can have that file. Like, hey, yesterday I got pulled over and y'all stole $200. I need you. And they had me to fill out the officer came outside and did it in his car. I'm like, why we can't do it inside? Any other time I can be inside if I'm in the wrong or you know. So
Right. But you
they
want people in there to see it.
no. So I wouldn't call them good cops, but I call them you do meet cops that don't want any drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right, 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 right.
like
I mean, if
oh
it was a good cop, none of this would have happened. You know what I mean?
exactly. So I do get cops to put me. I got cops to put me. I was like, hey, I seen your record. I see you get pulled over a lot. I don't want just get a license. Do this. Just why don't you get a license? I'm like, because I don't want one. So please, officer, can you just tell your buddy stop bothering me? But he'll let me go. Like we have a talk for about 15, 20 minutes, and he'll let me like I'm not giving you a warning. I'm not doing nothing. I'm leaving. So I'm like, that interaction, it kind of makes you want to step back, but then you have to realize it's a lot of people that's not as fortunate. It's people that's like really get into debt because they're spending days in jail over a card that doesn't give you really anything. It doesn't teach you
Not
how to drive from this card. Like just
right.
because I lose this card doesn't mean I forget how to operate this automobile. No,
Mm-hmm.
it does nothing.
And
It's
it's
just
never
the way.
even. It's not even a form of competency because people with license get into drivers like collisions and all kind of shit. Everyone who does it has a license.
Yeah, and that's how I got into one of my last tickets in Illinois. I was coming to Indiana and a driver hit me and they tried to take me to jail. I'm like, no, I ride there, but I'm not in your car. So I had to
Right.
call a friend to take me there to fill out just to show him like, yeah, I'm coming to court because I want all the smoke, officer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dude, I
it's
stood in court, right? I sat there in court, and the dude was up there for domestic violence, and
mhm.
his girl, who apparently he hit her in the head with a broom, she was there too. So she stood up and said, "Look, we have reconciled our differences. There is no more issue between us." To me, that's no controversy.
Yeah,
And they still proceeded to charge him.
yeah. They don't care about that. That's
Right,
why I
but if
tell
he
people like
knew, like, if he knew that there's no controversy, man, well, you know what I mean? It's not like she's charging me. Who's left to charge me?
because each court case had a bond. Once that bond is started, they make money off of every
Right,
case,
right.
whether we see it or not. They're making money. It's not a few. It's not chump change. They're making like so. That's why tell people like it's always funds there. It's going to be hard to get them, but it is ways to get them. I've seen results with people getting getting the remedy all the time.
So I
But
filed a W-9 request on Friday for the Miller Act bonds. That's at 24.5 and 25.8, and all the OF bonds and all of that. I put it in there, and she said the clerk said she was gonna go and give it straight to the judge because my court case was coming up in like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
So that's another thing when I go get my uh, when I go get the record or the transcript or whatever. I'm gonna also ask them about the Miller Act bonds. I'm like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I
yeah.
doubt
No,
they're gonna. They're not. I doubt they're gonna even honor it.
no, they're gonna try not to. That's why you gotta really make them. You
What's
gotta
the
really
limit?
force. Yeah, it said something about 15 minutes.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah,
Zoom
but
only
yeah,
gives you 30. This gives you a whole hour.
yeah. You really have to force them on everything,
Mm-hmm.
on
Keep pushing.
everything. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Like if the moment you stop pushing or drop the ball, they're gonna just act like nothing happened. They're gonna get rid of it ASAP. So, I always tell people to study, read. Not even you even have to know like a lot of laws. Just know a few of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I keep a few of them just so I'm ready at all times. And
Right.
it's just understanding
It's
little
better just
terms.
to have the script because you might not remember it all.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if
You're not. Oh man, I don't know how many scripts I've made, and I haven't stuck to them. But I always remember that conflict of interest. That's my man. That's my joker. That's my ace.
Conflict of interest.
Yes, dude. They no matter how deep you get, you go back. You wait a second, Judge. You said I have a right to fair trial,
Mm-hmm.
and, and seeing as you are getting paid by the plaintiff, the officer getting paid by the plaintiff, and the state attorney. That seems like a conflict of interest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? So they're most likely going to either go to recess or they're going to try to get around. Like that's when bring that kangaroo court in. Like we're jumping on all these subjects I brought to your matter, but you haven't taken care of any. Like, are you not honoring your oath? So like you have to use their words against them. Like like when we first started, you said, "Oh, I have all these rights and you honor the Constitution," but yeah, the Constitution is not being upheld at all. So what do you want to do if they still? I'm like, well, I'll challenge jurisdiction because again, I said I'm not a driver. This is a commercial interaction. So
And
you
can
When did
you
always
you start doing the
verbally
non-driver right to travel thing?
2016.
Was it?
Actually, yeah, like I actually, and I ran about on this completely by accident because like I said, I had a overrider. I'll just collect my tickets. I just stick them in a glove boxes until I ran across this guy named Dane Calloway who was talking about a whole different other subject, but he had a video on, hey, we don't need a license. I'm like, we don't need a license. Stop. What? Someone just and I'm like, Supreme Court said it too. Okay, this has to be something. If the Supreme Court is saying it, like these little superior courts or whatever they want to call themselves don't have any power if I'm coming with supreme law.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming with
the
case studies.
last
Supreme
case
law.
decided in 2015?
All right, see, we're around the same time. So and it's just really about sticking to it and learning the terminology of what a motor vehicle is and an automobile. And once you buy a car, it becomes a household item.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I get them with highway robbery because you're stealing my property now, and you can charge the the tow company too. So people always forget that the tow company and the police department are getting this.
Well, I mean, since the case is still pending, it's not outside of statute of limitations because I got arrested in 2021. You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
couldn't actually come after the tow company probably now at this point.
No, you can. You can still drive. Don't. I mean, they
Oh,
might not. They might not. Yeah, they don't have still have a car, but
right,
the
right,
you still have value. That will still value, and you can put a price on that car.
right.
So,
Because
uh,
when they impounded my car, and I got out the next day and tried to go up there and get it, but obviously by the next day I didn't have my license, right?
yeah.
And they would not give me my car without my license. You understand how angry I got? And they started seeing how angry, and this big dude, like this big dude, came out, and I was like, all right,
Oh
I
yeah.
was
So
like, man,
that's what they threaten. That's a form of
he
threat.
threatened me. I
No,
got
when
my
I
car back within a week though, because I did the appeal for the license,
uh,
suspension. But I went a lawyer's route because that's all I knew.
yeah. I
And
mean, yeah,
they'll probably still
you know
do it
better
now.
now.
What's that?
Yeah. And I said you know better now, but I've been the same thing, dude. When I got up there and they wouldn't give it, but they gave me the keys and they're like, "Oh, you can get your stuff out." I took the keys and with me and I threw them as far as I can. I'm like, if you now you have to tow that out. You have it's not gonna be a running car for you. They change the locks. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make it easy.
You threw
But
your keys?
yeah, I threw them keys. They wouldn't give me my car back. I'm like, oh yeah, y'all not moving this. So I chucked them keys, dude. Like,
But you knew where to go
all
get
right,
them though.
no, they didn't know. I threw them like, I wish I took a picture. It was like a little ravine, and it was rocks on both sides, and I'm just like,
Oh, them the key, your keys though. Oh, but you got a
yeah,
spare.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, no, yeah, you gotta, no, dude, I wasn't as level headed as I am now.
I got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. being recorded. So yeah, I've been through some.
But you was talking about like copper and magnets.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it's the energy, bro.
I
Nikola
mean,
Tesla gave us so much.
right?
He
Because
gave
Really
us so
did.
much.
it's right there in front of you. Like I wanted to start like making little, uh, magnets and copper and just like hang them off the light switches
Oh, for sure.
in the house.
Dude, yeah.
With the sufficient back, because I got the paperbacks.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
How to build your own homestead.
oh for sure. That's I need one of those.
Because it's like when the lights go out, you need the actual book and not the PDF. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're like I got a little time on this laptop. I gotta write it all down.
This
Correct.
one's going to be a little bit of a controversial one. There's a stone that was discovered from like Rwanda, in the Congo, where it it uses the electromagnetic frequencies around it or energy around it.
Oh yeah, I seen
And
it. It was like a blackish silver stone. Yeah,
yeah, they just
yeah.
take two
That's
stones, put it up next to each other, and it just circulates through. And
yeah. That's why they taking over the Congo.
yeah, that's exactly why.
Yeah,
And they're
that.
living
And
in
that.
oil,
Oh yeah, and that in cobalt.
cobalt.
Yeah,
God, yeah,
yeah. So much. That's what I'm like. It's so much out here. So many truths, and it's like, where do I start? Like
Right.
hydrogen cell is the Joe cell. This it was a yeah. You got to look that up. It's called the Joe cell. It was a junkyard mechanic who like invented a way to use magnets and water to power his car, and it was just like, and he wasn't selling his ideas. He was just making them for free. Anybody that came down, he was just so like there's so much out here, but it's like you really have to dig deep. You have to
yeah.
go back,
Either
you know.
water electrolysis or electromagnetism or hell, mercury and magnets as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I was just looking at a video on Mercury, how um, charges it charges our body.
Hmm.
You like stand over it. So
Like, don't think I'm crazy, y'all. Because what do y'all think? Because there's a documentary called "The Lost History of Flat Earth."
oh no, I'm a flat earther, bro.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
It took,
Have you seen
it
that
took me.
documentary though?
I probably have, do I? When I say
It's
that's
it's
that,
like
and
5 hours long, but it ain't just about flat Earth. They talk about how the Mercury and they talk about the cathedrals and how they used to harness energy from the air using the
yeah,
Mercury, and the glass stained mirrors were
Yep.
actually the seismic vibrations from the organs,
yeah. I know.
and it's like petrified, and they just turn it into stained glass now. But that's like seismic sound creating energy and all this other stuff, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
in the
why
human
they
body.
destroyed all the bells. The
Right, they took
bells
Yeah.
down
were
the
usually
bells, and they don't have organs in church no more.
exactly. They knew what they were doing, bro.
This is crazy, bro. But you sit down and start talking this to folks out on the street, they be like, oh man, this dude's a
I do. All my friends think
you're a
I'm crazy,
sovereign
bro.
citizen idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. All my friends call me crazy all the time. Like, yeah, what conspiracy theory you got now? I'm like, well, it's not a theory if they all been proven true. What
Mm-hmm.
do you want to say about that?
And
It's really a
as more
conspiracy
time goes on, more shit just gets revealed that it's been the truth all along.
all along, dude.
And then
Shit.
it's so crazy. I was watching this documentary last night on Netflix. I think it's called The Bleeding Truth or something like that.
Let me write that down. Do I? Oh, no, know how to write it down before I forget.
I'll have to look it up in my history and make sure that's what it is.
Okay.
But
Well,
we
yes,
got.
it is.
Hold on, how much time we got? It might be going off soon.
Yeah, it just says called in Zoom.
But the whole thing was about medical equipment or medical devices, what it was, and how they just get approved. They're killing off all these people. Like all these women had to get hysterectomies. This dude had a cobalt hip in his replacement for his hip, and it
Yeah.
just started. It's literally started like dissolving in his hip. You know what I mean, or some shit like that. But they'll put a documentary out like that, exposing all of it. But then you're still gonna go get a COVID test. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's that's the one crazy. Same thing.
I mean, shit. They literally released a resolution from the World Health Organization from 1986. Oh yeah,
Dude,
Was
I
it
got
Crystal?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that details
Um,
going over COVID, SARS-CoV, COVID-19, Project Bluebeam, and a few other things that they would be implementing in 2019 through 2024.
oh yeah, they've been telling us for years, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the COVID-19 thing. I
Mm-hmm.
was because I'm the only one, pretty much the only one in my immediate family that hasn't caught it. But my wife, she had to get the vaccine for work, and a lot of family members. I'm like, and they're still sick. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what does that tell you? What does that tell you? So it's another one on Netflix, Cowspiracy.
Cowspiracy.
Yes, you have to watch that because
I've heard
I
about
don't,
that.
like I'm not 100% vegan, but I always done
Right.
a plant based diet for the last. I want to say since I started this, since I started Rise and Travel, I really changed up my lifestyle. I stopped eating pork and beef. It's been so like almost 8 years, but have chicken every now and then, and but to see what's in this food is just like it makes you not want to eat. Like
Exactly.
some days I'll just make a smoothie and just drink water all day
Come on.
because
Come on,
yeah.
brother. Come on,
it's,
brother.
it's scary.
Man. Cause look, dude, I've probably lost like 30 pounds in the last since I've probably lost like 15 pounds since COVID or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's when I really actually I gotta get in. I started getting into it when my dad got sick with Parkinson's. I had to sit there and watch that,
Oh,
and
I hear that.
I had to do all I was doing all the research, and like everybody's calling me crazy. I'm like, stop giving him these pills because they're
Yeah.
literally killing him. He ended up
Yep.
dying from it, and it's like, but damn, what was I at? The COVID stuff, right? Ah, fuck, I
Yeah.
forgot.
And
Oh my
we'll
god.
catch up on it. When we come back, it's
Oh
not the
yeah, because
last
I lost all the
question.
weight. Because it's like I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
eating. I'm not
Yeah.
eating. I'm not eating that shit, bro. So I
Yeah.
only eat maybe once a day, and then I'm like skinny. I'm like 175, dude. I got up to like 210. You know,
Yeah.
just by
Yeah.
not eating meat. I'm like that gut ain't fat, bro. That gut is inflammation.
Yeah, that's what I was telling people. That's
Yeah,
all information and mucus build up.
Right, exactly. You got to clean that shit out, and there's only
Yeah.
one way: is detoxing.
Yeah. No, I just started putting back on weight because I was taking so long. I was just doing detox after detox and fasting. Like I lost so much weight. I'm like, I mean, I feel better than I did when I was heavier. So you know,
yeah,
and it was like, and it was even mind blowing. Like I'm, I would say stronger because I'm lifting and I'm doing more cardio. Like I'm lifting heavier weights, and I'm like, how is this even possible? Like
Like
even
sea
when
moss and all that too.
yeah, oh man, I'm heavy into sea moss, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's what I was,
even
brother.
even like I do a Kempo karate. When I spar with people, it's just like I'm sparring with heavier components
Mm-hmm.
because I understand how pretty much how physics work. Like it's just all about momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shifting it.
uh,
yeah,
Wing
yeah,
Chun and
we definitely
all
have to
kinds
have
of.
more conversations.